Jim Wilkes is a happy father and shares custody of his daughter with his ex-wife. He recently accepted a teaching job at an elite high school in Philadelphia. 17-year-old Devon Burks, the most popular girl in school, is picking out an outfit for the upcoming senior party. Along with his new job, Jim has found new love, his colleague Rachel. Upon seeing their new math teacher, Devon and her best friend Kinsey Ray are thrilled. Devon decides to make a move and starts openly flirting with Jim. The girls eagerly await Monday and math class. Many girls at the high school dislike Devon because of her bitchy attitude. She considers herself better than everyone and calls her classmates, Monica and Apple, losers for their crushing defeat in the volleyball competition. Kinsey just agrees with everything Devon says. While dancing, the flirty senior doesn't take her eyes off Jim. Rachel and Jim are deeply in love, but he tries not to rush things, not wanting to stress his daughter Anique. Rachel understands completely. Devon comes from a wealthy family. But her father doesn't care about her, he constantly brings different women home. Devon never misses a chance to cause trouble and puts something spicy into the mascara of his latest girlfriend, Sonia Weber. Carrie, Jim's neighbor and friend, often looks after Anique while he and his ex-wife are at work. There's nothing more important to Jim than his daughter. That same night, Devon finds the handsome teacher on social media. At breakfast, Devon's father mentions that Sonia had an inflamed eye this morning, and he plans to check on her later. The man works a lot, and soon he has another business trip to New York. Devon is upset that her father gives her so little attention. In fact, most motherly duties are handled by their housekeeper, Rosa. While getting ready for his first class, Jim accidentally spills water on himself. Devon already refers to Jim as her future husband and knows he's into sports. Devon likes sporty guys. When the girls see Jim changing his shirt in class, Devon tells Kinsey how much better it is to have him instead of Mrs. Carson, who's gone on maternity leave. The bell rings. Jim introduces himself to the students. In addition to teaching math, he's also the volleyball coach. Apple arrives late to class. Jim can't help but comment on her unusual name, jokingly asking if there are any other fruits in the hallway. Jim gives a brief introduction about himself to the students. At that moment, Devon is incredibly jealous of Apple and Monica, who are on the volleyball team. That means they'll get to see Jim more often. During the entire lesson, Devon keeps her flirty gaze fixed on the teacher. Jim has maintained a good relationship with his ex-wife, Marissa, who is focused on her career. But now that she's been promoted, Marissa plans to move to San Diego, thousands of miles away, and take their daughter with her. She assures Jim that he'll be able to have Anique during school breaks and visit anytime, but Jim isn't okay with that. He believes Anique's well-being should come first, especially after the trauma of their divorce. But Marissa has no intention of turning down the promotion and suggests Jim move to San Diego too. There are hundreds of schools there, so he won't have trouble finding a job. However, Jim doesn't want to sell the house where they once lived together as a family. In the end, the ex-spouses can't reach an agreement. Devon becomes obsessed with Mr. Wilkes and fantasizes about being alone with him. She's sure her feelings are mutual. Today, Devon and Kinsey are going to get their nails done. Devon shares that her father arranged with the principal for her to become Mr. Wilkes' personal assistant. For her, it's a chance to get closer to him. From a friend, Kinsey learns that Jim is divorced, has a daughter, and is currently dating Rachel Marson. Devon smirks and says Mrs. Marson is old, so she's no competition. Of course, Jim isn't thrilled that Devon has been assigned as his assistant. But Donald Ellison, the principal, won't take no for an answer because Rick Burks, Devon's father, is the school's main sponsor. Since Devon knows nothing about volleyball, Jim assigns her to inventory equipment. She's willing to do anything to be near Jim, even put up with Apple. Devon snoops around Jim's workspace to learn everything she can about him. Rachel treats the schoolgirl kindly, unaware of what's really on her mind. Devon secretly steals Jim's keys and makes a copy. That evening over dinner at a restaurant, Jim suggests that Rachel move with him to San Diego, but she can't leave her sick mother behind. Meanwhile, Devon sneaks into Jim's house and steals his bank card. Rachel realizes that a long-distance relationship won't work. Devon explores Jim's apartment, obsessed with him. Suddenly, Jim and Rachel return, and Devon hides, watching them, seething with jealousy over Rachel. The next morning, Rachel is getting ready to leave. They still haven't decided what to do about their relationship. Jim promises to figure something out, but Rachel sees no point in fooling herself and thinks it's better to break up now. Knowing Jim loves Nebraska, Devon puts on a t-shirt with the state's name on it. And Jim does notice. The girl also asks him for help with trigonometry. During the lesson, Devon continues fantasizing about Jim. Kinsey tries to talk her out of seducing him, but Devon is determined. During a one-on-one session, Devon tells Jim what a wonderful teacher he is. When she learns that Jim and Rachel had a falling out, Devon feels like she's won. Kinsey sulks that because of Jim, Devon spends more time with him. As a peace offering, Devon buys her friend a pair of fancy shoes. For herself, Devon buys a corset with ruffles. In the evening, Devon dines with her father at a restaurant and mentions that she has a boyfriend now, smart and responsible. When Morgan, an old friend of Mr. Burke's, joins their table, Devon rushes to leave, but not before asking her father to sponsor a dinner for the school's volleyball team. That evening, Jim studies geography with his daughter and carefully asks if her mom has told her about the move to California. Anik already knows. Neither father nor daughter realizes that Devon is watching them from outside at that very moment. The next day, the girl tells the teacher that her father decided to treat the whole team to dinner. At the same time, Devon doesn't miss a chance to flirt with him. Later, while Jim is working with his volleyball team, the secretary from Marissa's office calls his office. Devon answers the phone. The secretary says that Marissa won't be able to pick up Anik from school today. Devon goes to pick up Anik herself, informing Jim only after the fact. He strongly dislikes the situation but still allows Devon to take Anik. Devon acts overly friendly, but when Anik looks away, she steals one of her toys. Later, Jim asks Devon to come to him directly if something like this happens again, even if he's busy. That same day, Jim calls Devon and asks if Anik might have dropped her toy in her car. Devon says she'll bring it right over and shows up at the cafe where Jim and Anik are having ice cream. Carrie joins them, and Devon feels a surge of unbearable jealousy. Carrie is sorry to hear that Jim and Rachel broke up, but he's holding it together. At night, Devon fantasizes about Jim. She craves fatherly love so badly that she searches for it in someone else. Over the weekend, the volleyball team attends a lunch at a cafe organized by Mr. Burke's. Jim publicly thanks Devon, but it's not enough for her. She dreams of marrying Jim so that he would belong only to her. When Jim takes pictures with the girls from the volleyball team, Devon feels jealous and takes one with him too. In her hotel room that evening, she stares at the photo for a long time. Being apart from his daughter is unbearable for Jim, so he plans to move after his ex-wife. There's a knock at his hotel room. It's Devon pretending to cry, claiming her boyfriend dumped her. Feeling it's his duty to support a student, Jim offers her some coffee and tells her she deserves better. Cheering up immediately, Devon hints that she needs a more mature man. Jim brushes off the comment. Devon walks Jim to his room, thanking him for the support. At one moment she's ready to kiss him, but his phone rings and he heads into his room. Frustrated, Devon calls Kinsey and vents. But Kinsey is tired of hearing about Devon's so-called problems. Devon never cares how Kinsey is doing, she only thinks about herself. The girls argue. In a fit of rage, Devon deletes all her photos of Kinsey. Now all she needs is Jim. The next day, Jim's team wins the volleyball tournament. Everyone returns in high spirits, but when Jim regretfully announces that he's moving to San Diego because of his ex-wife, everyone is upset, especially Devon. In the evening at home, she gets drunk, and suddenly her father shows up. He had just returned from the business trip. He doesn't seem too bothered by the fact that his daughter is drinking alone. He plans to spend the evening out, as he has tickets to a basketball game. Right now, Devon hates Marissa more than anyone and begins to stalk her. Every morning Marissa goes out for a run, but this time will be her last. Devon cold-bloodedly hits Marissa with her father's SUV. The principal delivers the horrifying news to Jim right in the middle of a lesson. Soon the funeral takes place. Jim gives a eulogy, speaking about what a wonderful person Marissa was and how much she loved their daughter. Devon approaches Jim and offers her condolences. She says he can count on her for anything. Jim politely thanks her. He misses Marissa deeply, she had been someone very close to him. Unexpectedly, Devon shows up at his house and brings Anik a small gift. Jim would rather be alone right now, but Devon insists on coming in, fantasizing about how happy she'll be living here with Jim. She wants to believe he's also glad his ex-wife is gone. Devon tells Jim that she understands him better than anyone because she lost her own mother years ago. But when she starts hinting that she could be more than just a student to him, he asks her to leave. Devon has no intention of giving up so easily, convinced that Jim is secretly in love with her. Jim tells her that he's not, and shows her to the door. She promises he'll regret this. Jim meets with Rachel and tells her everything. She advises him to talk to the school principal about transferring Devon to another class. In any case, she can no longer remain his assistant. All evening Devon keeps calling Jim, but he ignores her. This drives her mad and she starts stalking him, repeatedly telling him that anyone in his place would be lucky to date her and that he'll be a fool if he refuses. Jim no longer wants to speak to Devon and drives away while she yells insults at him. Jim leaves a voicemail for Donald, saying the situation with Devon has gotten out of control. That night, Devon drives drunk and gets stopped by the police. She is taken to the station. Devon's father demands an explanation for her behavior lately. In tears, Devon lies that Jim Wilkes forced her to do something she didn't want to. She also claims Jim gave her his credit card so she could buy the ruffled corset. Rick Burks hugs his daughter, promising that the man who hurt her will pay. To help Jim cope with the loss, Rachel stays with him. Neither of them expects the police to show up at the door and arrest Jim. This happens in front of shocked Rachel and frightened Anique. Only now does Jim realize how dangerous Devon's obsession really is. The next day Rachel visits him. It means a lot to him that she's there. He is released on bail pending trial and reunited with his daughter. Because of Devon's lies, the story becomes the subject of media attention. Rachel supports Jim, promising that they'll get through it together. At school, few people believe Devon's accusations. Apple and Monica ask Kinsey, as Devon's former best friend, to do something, otherwise Mr. Wilkes' life might be ruined forever. After some thought, Kinsey approaches Rachel and says she wants to talk about Devon. Later, Devon sees Kinsey meeting with Rachel and Jim. She flies into a rage and goes to the elementary school, pretending that Mr. Wilkes once again asked her to pick up Anique. Kinsey is willing to testify in court that Devon was obsessed with Jim, but that alone isn't enough. Juries usually side with the alleged victim without considering who the real victim might be. Devon calls Jim and tells him she's kidnapped his daughter. But Anique won't be harmed if Jim agrees to meet with Devon alone. She warns him that if he calls the police, things will end very badly. Jim has no choice but to comply with the demands of this psychopath. When he meets with Devon, Jim immediately demands that she return his daughter. Devon, crying, confesses her love for him, saying that no woman but her is worthy of him. When Jim realizes that Devon was behind Marissa's death, he is horrified. Devon promises to retract her statement to the police if he agrees to be with her. Jim decides to play along with Devon, who realizes too late that he's been recording their entire conversation. The police arrive and arrest Devon, who breaks down, begging Jim to help her. All this time Anique has been at the Burks residence with their housekeeper, Rosa. Fortunately, the girl was unharmed. Rachel and Jim are together again. Now the three of them have become a real family. Devon, who never received enough attention from her father, found in Jim something that filled the emptiness inside her. And her next obsession becomes her psychiatrist.